Hey, welcome back. This is episode 66 of the Part-Time Players podcast. Very close to 69. Very, very close. This is the video game podcast where we talk about the video game news of the week. My name is Reece Lagden, and I'm joined, as always, by Bradley Seeley.
Hello.
Why are you clearing your throat? We did a whole...
Yeah, I know. Just before we spoke, I was like, you know what, I need to clear it. And I had to. Sorry.
Yep.
Let me mute and I'll do it.
You're going to do it again. Well, anyway, take two. The second Brad. Clearly the better Brad at this point. Bradley Maw.
Rude.
I'll take that crown and I will put it upon my head.
It could transfer back at some point. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, when Brad goes off on a Destiny 2 rant, then it's like, all right, the crown's taking the crown away. Come on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
there is Destiny 2 news this week, isn't there? Anyway,
there is some big news. We probably do talk about Destiny a little bit too much. Do we?
Yeah.
We don't? Or maybe debatable.
Yeah.
I feel like we don't talk about it enough sometimes.
We talk about it more than other podcasts, that's for sure.
Yeah. What? Even like Destiny 2 dedicated podcasts.
About on par with those.
Yeah. Well, we're the part-time Destiny and part-time gamer podcast.
Yeah.
Part-time players. It's in the title.
Players. I certainly am a part-time player. No, definitely.
Yeah, you're a no-time player, mate.
Nope.
Anyway, welcome to the show. We've got another newsy episode and a main topic this week where we're going to be discussing, what is it again, Brad? Our dead franchises we want.
Yeah, what dead game franchise you want to bring back?
Yeah.
And why?
Why? Oh.
Why? Oh,
you got to argue it. You kind of got to argue your point.
Oh, is this a competition? I didn't realise this. You never laid out the rules.
You've just got to basically what game you want brought back, why you like it, and
okay. Yeah, I can go with that.
So I didn't ask this when I was preparing, but do
probably has
it. To clarify, I mean, I guess no. Do you know what? We'll talk about it when it comes. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you threw me off there. I was drinking because I was expecting you to talk a little bit longer there, but
yeah. I saw you take a swig, and I was like, "Nope, I'll end it now. Let's put Reece on the spot."
Put us on the spot, exactly. Anyway, if you haven't heard, we have transferred completely back to audio only. However, there should be an audio version on YouTube now, which obviously last week's happened. So I've sorted out all the issues we had with Podbean and Spotify. Yeah. The issues we had with Spotify, they are back on Spotify, and so this week's episode should also be. So please go like and subscribe wherever you do watch the podcast or listen, I guess now, sorry. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, wherever. We appreciate your support. Yep. And obviously there's a link tree in the description below, so go support us and check out what we do on social media. Yep. We really do appreciate it. Anyway, on to the news. Brad, what's the first news story?
The news stories. Well, we covered this last week, and there was rumors about that whole bloody game. I was going to say God of War, then I was going to say Game of Thrones. It's not. It's Grand Theft Auto.
Well, we got there in the end.
Are they going to do like a trilogy?
Goes to Tsushima.
During the week, we got this little announcement, so I'm going to read it out. In honor of the upcoming anniversary, today we are excited to announce that all three games will be coming to current generation platforms later this year in the Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, for PlayStation 5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Switch, and the Rockstar Games launcher on PC. Grand Theft Auto, the Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, will feature across-the-board upgrades, including graphical improvements and modern gameplay enhancements for all three titles, while still maintaining the classic look and feel of the originals, which worries me. We're extremely excited to share more about these groundbreaking titles in the coming weeks. Stay tuned. And then it's to prepare for launch, we'll be removing existing versions of the classic titles from digital retailers next week. So yeah, they're going to take
of course they are.
Away.
Of course they are.
Yeah, and then they're going to
buy it again. We want your money.
Yeah. So the bit
I like it. They don't hide it.
When we was in the group chat, it will still where was it? Still maintain the classic look and feel of the originals. You don't really want the classic look and feel of the PlayStation 2 game. You kind of want it to be, a lot better. So, what's your thoughts?
Who's going first? Go on, Brad Maw. I know you've got strong opinions about this. Go on, go.
I want nothing to do with this. I want nothing to do with it. They're not having my money, and it's not because I'm tight. We all know I'm partial to the odd microtransaction, but yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Don't want it. I read that news and I couldn't have felt more really about it. And I love Grand Theft Auto. I absolutely love them. You know what I want to see?
You Platinum 5. You Platinum 5. That's
I did. You know? Right. So I was having a little let's call it an argument with a discussion / argument with Reece last night about this. And
no, you just attacked me because I said I wanted to buy it.
I did.
Came in.
I asked Reece, why didn't he buy the last lot that were on PS4? They're on PS4 6 months ago when he had a PS4. Why didn't you buy them if your nostalgia was that buzzing? And he didn't really have an answer, but he did kind of eventually say, well, I just like buying shit and I want to buy shit. I was like, all right, there we go.
There you go.
But no, my take is they're not going to change much about them. They're keeping the original look and feel, which is their caveat for it's a port. They live well in the past. I did buy them on PS4, and because I was suckered in by that nostalgia thing, which isn't real, by the way. Nostalgia is a myth. The idea of nostalgia is more powerful than the act itself, and whatever.
We could go into that discussion.
Yeah. And they were just so clunky, so horrible, so laughably, like the graphics were just like I really struggled with them. They just look like hexagons, the faces are just hilarious. And it was funny, and it was like, oh, this is cool for about, I don't remember it being this bad. It was so good in its time. And it lasted for about 20 minutes. I was like, okay, off it goes. I'll never play that again. And the exact same thing would happen if I bought these new ones. So I'm not going to do that. But it's all right. Reece didn't do that with the PS4, so he'll just do this with the PS5, and he'll say, "Oh, you were right, Brad. They're absolute dog shit. They don't belong in this century."
Yeah. So I didn't buy it for the PS4 either, but I did buy them on my iPad and not on my phone. And again, same as you, Brad, playing it like, oh, this is cool. I can play it on. I was thinking, the reason behind me buying them was like, if I'm on a journey, or I can play it wherever. I can get my phone out and start playing San Andreas. I didn't. I played it for about 10 minutes, and I was like, oh, yeah, I remember. And trying to play it on the iPad as well isn't ideal. And I was like, you know what, I'm done. So
they were brilliant in their day on their console. Full stop.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, back in the day, PS2. When Rockstar decided to release more than one game per generation, is great. You know what I want to see? I want to see that. I don't want to see them redo these 3D open world ones because they're dated. I want to see them redo GTA 1 or GTA London. I want to see them do that. Like, you know how you get like indie games that are just so visually beautiful because they're simplistic graphics, but they put HDR in them and they put the right shading in, and they can really, really look good and feel good as a simple. Put the overhead ones, remaster them, because that's not a big job. And they were brilliant as well. Like, I'd be all over that. But these fucking watching a hexagon face run around and run into a wall and start slapping a wall, I'm like, nah, see you later.
Surely they're going to polish it more than just that. Surely it's going to be more than that.
No,
you watch.
They're going to that they've done the least amount of work to get the most amount of money out.
No, I totally disagree with that.
Right,
why would
Reece is the one who's going to buy them.
So I am. So forget about I'm buying it or not buying it, but the fact that they bought a whole studio just to do this, and they've been doing something for an entire year. If it was just porting, they would have just ported over the previous versions. Like you said, the porting's there. Just port them over to PS5. Done. There's no cost involved in that. The fact that they've actually bought a studio, they've taken a year to say that they're remastering them. They're doing something with it. Whatever it is, whether or not that's good enough for your expectations or for your standards to then buy them, that's obviously up to you to decide. However, they're not going to be a straight pull. It is going to be some form of improvement. I don't think they're going to look. It's obviously not a remake. They're not going to look like an amazing PS5 game. I don't expect that either. I expect them to look like a PS3 game, like a standard PS3 game, but running in 4K, which will look similar to what Mass Effect probably looks like. I don't think Mass Effect looks amazing.
Mass Effect don't look amazing, but it is a hell of a lot better than what the original Grand Theft Auto was. So you're expecting them to be on par with GTA 4 or said the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
Okay, if it is that, then that is obviously better. But I can see where Brad's coming from. Where are they just gonna improve like the shading or the lighting, but you still kind of got like the like blocky. You're running around.
I feel like they know that doesn't work. It looks terrible. I totally agree. If that is it, I'm not buying it because that doesn't look good. You cannot have. It's the same as like the whole discussion that we had recently about the Metal Gear remakes or remasters. If they remaster those, they look terrible. Like the early PS2 and PS1 era games, the first 3D stuff, it just doesn't look good anymore. It needs a whole overhaul because, like you said, it's just blocky squares, and we had tiny TVs back then, and we thought, wow, this is amazing. We've gone from 2D to 3D, but now it doesn't translate.
I'm trying to find what they said when they originally brought them back out again on PS4, because I bet you there was a similar statement for the PS4.
I think they said they were ports. I don't think they ever said they're remasters. They might have said they've up-resed it to like 1080p.
Yeah.
But they won't like remasters.
Original look and feel. They probably said that as well.
Another thing I'm thinking of as well, big part of the Grand Theft Auto games is the maybe not so much as number 3, but for Vice City and San Andreas is the soundtrack.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know in the past as well, though, that they've loved the like the copyright, the licensing they've had for certain songs have lapsed, and they've had to patch them out of the game. So are these games going to have the soundtrack we remember from when we were playing years ago when we was like kids, like teenagers? Because especially Vice City, I think it's important to have that.
Absolutely.
That soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely.
So are they all going to be there? Are they going to?
I think that's a must.
Or they're just going to be like, oh, the ones we ain't got now gone. That's it.
No, it's a must, and they will have it because all the licenses is down to is money. And if Take-Two and Rockstar got anything or plenty of, it's money. No, anybody that owns those songs is not going to take a big check from them.
Yeah,
whatever the number is,
Sure.
It's just down to money, and they've got it. All the soundtracks will be there, all of them, maybe more. I don't know, but yeah, that is a guaranteed.
What are your thoughts on what I said about them remastering the 1 and 2 in London? I'd be well up for that.
I would be as well. It's just down to how many people would want to buy it. You know what I mean? I feel like they're obviously doing this because it's an easy win. Like they know they're going to get their money back, their return. How many people actually will want to buy 1 and 2 and overview? And even if they do upscale it to like modern day TVs and it's like running in whatever 4K or 2K, whatever, 60 frames. I don't know. I'm on the fence whether or not I would want to play them.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Did you play them originally? Were you old enough? Did you? I can't. Because like that, I was
briefly.
That was my PlayStation. That was all I played for like.
Yeah,
2 years.
I wasn't really old enough to play them, to be honest with you. So,
right.
But I remember seeing them. Like my uncle had them, and I remember like once playing it, but I couldn't drive the car, and I got out, and the police were chasing me, and I died, and then I was like, oh, kind of like you're wasted or whatever, and then I was like, oh, well, this is.
See, it might target a particular generation, whereas these target a slightly younger generation, and the other ones would target a slightly older generation. And I guess the question is if there's a market for that, which there probably is. It's with a franchise like Grand Theft Auto, it might not be as big, but
yeah, I think their PS2 era stuff is really iconic. Like not just the GTA collection that we're getting, but also like Bully and the other games they made in that generation. People really like the PS2 Rockstar stuff. They really like went into the next level. And I would even like the Red Dead Redemption, like the original 2.
Yeah.
Remaster those, bring those over.
Sure.
I think they're great.
Well, if that's all we've got to say on Grand Theft Auto, like I say, we don't know when it's coming out. They said this year. We don't know price, so we'll wait for those announcements, and we'll obviously.
How much do you reckon it will be?
I reckon it'll be about £35.
Ooh, no chance.
Yeah. You what? Sorry.
I think there's no chance it's going to be £35 for all 3 of them. No.
Yeah.
They might sell them separately for like £30 each.
Or if they come out and be like, oh, you want, it's going to be like 70 quid for 3 of them. I will tip them bollocks. I'm not going. They can just do one.
I think it'll be 60.
Way. Nah.
Really? Are they selling them as a bundle and separately?
Do we know? I know it's definitely as a bundle because obviously it's the. What's it called, Brad?
Definitive Trilogy, Definitive Edition.
Yeah. So I've imagined that, but then I would also imagine why not sell them separately also, if I was them?
Yeah.
What, £20 each?
Well, I'm going to wait and see. I probably won't buy them anyway because
I think 35 quid is a good shout. I reckon for the trilogy, 35 quid.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see.
Yeah, because I know they might have like jazzed them up a bit, but essentially you are paying for 3 PlayStation 2 games. So
you are.
But anyway, moving on to the next news story. It also involves Rockstar. Maybe some people would have rather have focused on this game because this has now been cancelled. There was a game called Agent. It has been removed from the Rockstar website after being there for many years. So this was Agent was a stealth action game under development by Rockstar North that was originally announced for the PlayStation 3. The game was planned to take place in the 1970s Cold War setting. Agent was teased in July 2007 and formally announced in June 2009. Take-Two re-registered the trademark back in 2016 that gave people more hope that it was still coming, even though the 2 generations gone now. But yeah, it's been removed. They're not doing it. Agent is dead. So I think I remember hearing about this years ago, and I just completely forgot about it. So when I saw it in the news, I was like, oh yeah. But I wasn't one of the people checking and hoping still. I just kind of forgot about it. So
I didn't even know this game existed
until
they did the trademark. Like you said, they renewed it in like 2016 because time 2016 came round and PS4 was about. I actually started listening to like gaming podcasts, understanding what's going on in game like PS3 era. I had no clue. I was still quite young. So there's
some noisy seagulls there, whoever that is.
Is there? I can't hear any seagulls. I think that's
might be in that.
It might be in your head. I was like, what are you going on about?
It's in the
room. I didn't even know it existed. So yeah, it makes no difference to me because I have no expectation. It's interesting that it was a PS exclusive though. Yeah,
it's like used as well, like not knowing about it. I've kind of forgot about it, but now reading up on it, it's like, actually, that sounds really good. it sounded like a espionage kind of James Bond kind of game set in the Cold War in 1970s. I was like, this sounds really good, but yeah, it's gone now. Rockstar don't like making games no more. This is it. Especially new IPs.
They like making.
They don't need to.
Max.
No, I know they don't need to. But they're a games company.
They're a business.
Maybe they should.
They're a business.
You do love sticking up for the giant corporations. Like
it's just reality, mate.
I love Sony so much. Oh, Rockstar, they can't do no wrong. Rockstar, I'll give you £70 for 3 PlayStation 2 games. I love you so much.
God, so dramatic. Business.
How many times have you bought GTA 5?
4.
For fuck's sake. Have you still not got a copy of it?
I do. It's digitally on I could download it right now if I wanted to.
Yeah, but that's the latest one.
Have you bought it 4 times? Did you buy it twice on one console?
I bought it PS3, twice on PS4, and now on PS5.
So,
where's
your PS4 copies?
I don't know. I bought it on disc once, and then I think I sold it. And then I bought it on disc again because a guy at work convinced me that let's play it online. Tom, do you remember him?
Yeah.
And I don't know where that copy's gone. I don't know where any of my disc copies have gone for anything. I don't know.
Jesus.
It's disappeared. So I have no discs for anything.
Bloody hell. Well, I've
got digital only, so it makes a difference anyway. So
yeah.
Even if I found the disc, I couldn't play it. So I needed to buy it again digitally, which I've now got. So I will never purchase it again. Are you happy?
I don't care, to be honest, your money.
Right.
But I don't know. Yeah, so there you go. Rockstar. We should have done breaking news. Rockstar isn't making a game. I think everyone already gets that. So, right, that's really all we've got to say on that. The next bit of news is U2's favorite game, Destiny, and there's been some more vaulting news. So they're vaulting more content. So I've got a little statement here from Bungie.net. I won't read it all. I'm just going to read a bit like vaulting in year 5. So beginning on February 22nd, the Forsaken campaign and the Tangled Shore destinations will enter the DCV. Note, the Dreaming City destination will continue to be available, along with Year 4 seasonal content, including the Presage and Harbinger exotic missions. We understand the unique value of these definitively Destiny experiences and are investigating ways to reprise and create new, exciting, exotic special missions within Destiny 2 for the future. Voting this content will allow us to free up the space to launch the Witch Queen expansion in the new Throne World destination, as well as new features like weapons crafting, the legendary difficulty campaign options, the new glaive weapon archetype, plus all additional content we have planned for 4 new seasons to come starting this February. So I understand a little bit more now because I played a little bit, but you two obviously are the Destiny go-to. So I'll hand off to yous and your thoughts.
Do you want to kick this off, Brad? What's your initial thoughts on the bolting of Forsaken?
Sure. Yeah, first of all, fine with it. The communication's a little bit odd, how that they're positioning it, that they're removing it for space. Now, initially, when they started vaulting at the start of Beyond Light, we chopped half the game. And that argument totally got it. The game was well and truly bloated with so many planets, so many old campaigns that we didn't play anymore, didn't need anymore, and they needed the room. Now they don't need that room. They've literally put in their blog post, we need the room for weapon crafting, for a new type of weapon. And it's like, really, you're clutching there. What, you need to delete a campaign to put a new weapon in the game? Come on, what are you talking about? So I think there's other reasons why they're doing it, which I'm fine with. The thing is, right? No, a lot of people are complaining on Twitter about vaulting. They're like, "Oh, I paid for Forsaken. That's why should we have to do that?" There's no argument there. They set out the expectations 2 years ago that content. This is an MMO. It's evolving. If you're part of this world, stuff is going to go. If they didn't set out those expectations, then everyone who's kicking off has a right to complain, and they should boycott the game and not play it. But the fact that they said this is the direction we're going and this is what we want to do, and they said that 2 years ago, nobody, I don't think anyone has the right to say, "Oh, why are you taking away content I paid for?" It's just not, that argument doesn't sit with me, because expectations have been set. I think it's being vaulted mainly space. Doesn't matter. Like it's already 130 gig less than Call of Duty, so they don't need the space. I think narratively it makes perfect sense. The Witch Queen is kind of kicking off where Forsaken left off, and there's too much mismatch of storytelling. Where it's an MMO, when you launch the game, you don't launch into this campaign. There's still characters that are going to be in the game, in the tower, in these online destinations that are now dead or have changed, and it just doesn't narratively make sense to have a story that's finished and done and dusted alongside a new story with new characters. It's just too confusing for a user experience. So it makes sense they're parting with Forsaken. And the good news is they're giving it out free for a few months for people to pick up and try. So yeah, I don't have an issue with it. I think it makes sense. There's an option to buy the raid and the dungeon, which is the best content, bar the campaign. So you can still retain, if you've already bought Forsaken, you keep that content. But if you haven't and you jump into Destiny in 2 years' time and you want to do those raids and dungeons, you can buy an extra content pack to still do that content, which is kind of fair enough because it's a lot of development work would have gone into that.
Very well said. I kind of agree with pretty much everything you just said, so I'm not going to repeat anything you just said, except for when you said about it being an MMO and it's a revolving MMO, so they need to vault stuff to concentrate on other things. I feel like they haven't delivered on that promise. I feel like there's so many destinations still there, like Nessus and Tangleshore, which is obviously one of the places going, and before this season, Dreaming City, and I still feel like, and the Moon now, half the locations, you don't need to go there for no reason. I feel like the promise was we've got a smaller pool of places to go, so we're going to do more things with them. And I feel like there's no difference. I just, and to compare it to other MMOs, no other MMO vault stuff. Like you can go to like WoW or Final Fantasy 14 or Elder Scrolls Online, or I don't know, there's so many, and so many of them. And you can say, oh, it's because they're on old consoles, but so are Elder Scrolls Online, and so is Final Fantasy. They're both on PS4 and PS5 now, and PC, and they've got like 50 raids, or they call them trials in those games.
Right.
And 80 dungeons and loads of locations.
Right.
And they don't vault stuff. So why is Bungie needing to vault stuff when they've got half the many? I don't know. I have a problem with their vaulting raids. And they're obviously not doing that this occasion. I think that's very good. And I've got a feeling, and I was talking to you about it earlier, about the possibility of them doing a D2 vanilla raid pack. So like all the vaulted raids that are gone, just bringing them a pack and just bringing them all back, because that's the content that should have stayed. I'm not bothered about when Mercury went and the campaign went, and I'm not bothered about Forsaken going either, because obviously we've all done it. I think it's a problem for new players. Yeah, I think it's a problem for new players because half the game has now just been taken from you, and how do you attract new players? But yeah, I don't know. Do you see them doing a pack and bringing all the raids back? Because why are they getting rid of those raids? I think that's a big, like you said, that's the core content, the best content. They shouldn't have got rid of those in the first place.
Yeah. They shouldn't have. I agree. Again, I think it may have come down to space originally, because the Leviathan was a huge area that housed 3 different raids. And I kind of get why they vaulted all that stuff originally, because of space, and WoW doesn't have, it's not the same graphics. It's not a bigger file. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing here, but Destiny has been up-resed massively, and maybe it would be too big to keep all of that old content, but I think they will repackage it and they will sell it eventually. I mean, I don't think we're going to get them anytime soon. Next year, it's already been confirmed to get another Destiny 1 raid back. So it's not happening next year. The year after, we'll probably get another Destiny 1 raid back. That seems to be the trend they're doing. They seem to be unvaulting Destiny 1 content, not Destiny 2 content.
I think Lightfall could be the possibility, the soonest I can see.
Yeah.
Maybe once again, it's like a bit like what they're doing with the anniversary pack. Break up one of the later seasons to make it feel like it's like pad it out, maybe like December, just before the expansion, because clearly the expansions are not going to be in September anymore. They're now being pushed to February. So probably maybe in December, like in 2 years' time, December, 2023. Well, we could get a pack that's
What ties in quite well, I've been looking at some lore videos recently, and it's looking like Callus is being geared up to be the ultimate entity, which is like there's the light and the darkness, and then sort of Callus is going to be what's known as the entity in the lore, which is he's been sort of corrupted by someone, so he'll be like the final antagonist. So maybe the Callus story is going to be retold in the final shape, which is the 2-year expansion, and that Callus themes, that the Leviathan could be coming back, and I think that's an opportunity for them to reprise the Leviathan raids. They might just need a bit of a reskin, or they might, I don't know, that could all tie in together. So that could be a good time. But I do agree. I'm glad, I guess, like you said, they're not vaulting the raid, which is just, if they vaulted the raid and the dungeon, I'd just be like, why? Just segregate it, keep it standalone, stop taking good end game content away. We need more of that. Destiny always has a drop off when a new season or a new expansion launches. I mean, we're quite hardcore players. We do a lot of extra stuff, but they lose a lot of players because there's not a lot of content to come back to when they keep, and if they keep taking it away, it's even more of a problem. But I guess the good thing is it doesn't look like they're doing that anymore. They've found a way to segregate the raid, segregate the dungeon. Let's get rid of the bloat, which is the campaign, which you can only do once. It's pointless being in there for existing players, not for new players, but for existing.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're going to fix that with the whole difficulty, with the new campaign where you can do on a harder difficulty, and so it's a little bit more replayable. I would like to see them do that in those 2 months as well, just like add a harder difficulty for the Forsaken mode just before it goes. I think that would have been quite nice for existing players just to,
I want to do the Forsaken again, and I can't. Like, I actually want to do that campaign again before it goes, and it's like, I can't even do it if I wanted to.
Yeah, well,
Talking of new players, so me, I've just come in, obviously. I've done that. Is it called the New Light? The new campaign for new players. I've done that. I'm doing what campaign am I doing now? Well,
Beyond Light.
What is it?
Beyond Light.
doing that. And you two obviously said you should get Forsaken, and I did buy this version. It didn't work out very well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to actually playing this. I'll make sure I play this in those 3 months, 2 months, 2 and a little bit months to play this before it goes.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to getting involved.
It's very good. Pre-warning though, this is a lot bigger. Well, the expansion was far bigger than Beyond Light. I'm pretty sure the campaign's longer as well, right, Brad?
Yeah.
And you'll need to play a lot more if you're going to get through it in the 2 months.
Yeah. It's actually sad to see it go because it was an unbelievable campaign. Like all the Destiny content doesn't get rated massively high in, it is what it is. And, IGN usually give the expansions like a 6 or a 6.5 or a 7. But Forsaken, when that campaign launched, that across the board, it was like 9s and 10s. It was like, wow, okay, Destiny has fucking hit something big here. Narratively, it was just unbelievable. It was just,
So the quality of life stuff that we kind of take for granted now, like the collections and all the extras, everything.
See, I regret not being able to play the original campaign for Destiny 2 with the big gorilla men.
The Red War.
The gorilla men.
I'll regret not, because I started playing that and obviously I didn't continue it, but I regret missing out on that.
That's great.
I will carry on playing a little bit of Destiny 2 for the time being, and then I'll jump onto Forsaken. So it's for me, for a newbie. Yeah, and then I remember Brad did say he had the feeling that it was going to go free to play, so he called it and he was right. So
he did.
Nailed it.
Nice.
So I'll be on board. But any more Destiny 2 news, thoughts?
No, I feel like we've covered everything.
Okay, so now then,
the passion is high when it comes to Destiny. We're always we want the best for the game. That's why it's like kind of so it's always good chat, because you're like, why are you making these decisions, Bungie? Because we want the best possible game because we care.
And yesterday you was gonna, you asked if I could do a raid and I couldn't because I was trying to fix a car. But so,
well, you had a good time. We did 2 raids yesterday, so
I had a bad time because I couldn't fix it. So
fine, fair enough. Anyway,
bad times.
Is that it for the news?
Yeah.
Or what we're going to now?
News this week. No more news. But then, like you said, we've got a main topic this week. So
main topic.
Game franchise we want brought back. So I've got mine. Reece, have you decided on one?
Yes.
Yes, and Brad's got his. So who wants to go first?
I don't mind. You pick. You go first.
I go first, yeah?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, so my topic, my game that I'd like to see a new one. I've mentioned it before. You probably won't be surprised when I say I'd like a new Splinter Cell game. Okay, so like a standalone Splinter Cell game. So the last mainline Splinter Cell game was back in 2013, and it was Blacklist. And since then, Sam Fisher hasn't had his own game, but he has appeared in a few other games. Okay, so in 2017, he appeared in Ghost Recon Wildlands. In 2020, he was in Rainbow Six Siege, and he was also in the mobile game Tom Clancy's Elite Squad, a mobile game in which teams of 5 participants battle centered around gunplay. The game included a variety of Tom Clancy characters, Rainbow Six, The Division, and other franchises. And they announced that they also recently announced that the game is actually getting shut down at the end of 2021. So the servers are getting shut off on that. So that's that one gone. But he hasn't actually had his own game. There hasn't been a Splinter Cell game since 2013. But they did announce that they're going to be a Netflix series. So it seems like Ubisoft are just scutting around doing every other single possible thing with this character in this franchise, yet make a new game.
Yep.
And I've read into it, and they said that it's because it could be difficult trying to fit it into around like The Division, and obviously Rainbow Six Siege got massive, and the new one. What's the new one? Quarantine? Is it Quarantine?
Yeah, they changed it to Extraction.
Extraction, yeah. So obviously they're big, like ongoing things. The Division, but again, I think they've finished with The Division now as well. I don't think we're going to get a Division 3, and they've kind of give up supporting Division 2. So
Massive Entertainment are working on obviously Avatar.
Yeah.
Then they got Star Wars. So that's their next 2 games. So yeah, it's going to be a while.
But when you think of how prolific Splinter Cell was on the original Xbox, so it had 3. Yeah, it had 3 titles on the original Xbox. You had obviously Splinter Cell, you had Pandora Tomorrow, and then Chaos Theory. That was all in the original. Then you had Double Agent and
Blacklist,
Conviction, and Blacklist on the 360 era, and then nothing on PS4, Xbox One.
What did they sell like? Because once again, I'm going to go back to their business. Did they not sell well? Is that why they stopped? Because I feel like that's the clear reason why they're not making them.
The last one didn't sell very well. So it didn't sell very well. Blacklist.
Yeah,
and it also didn't have Michael Ironside doing the voice of Sam Fisher.
Sure.
I never played it because
so you're the problem.
We didn't have Michael Ironside. I wasn't going to play it with no Michael Ironside, and it was always also. I think it was supposed to be like a prequel. They just kind of like the last good game was Conviction. You know, you can't. I don't know if you've played it, but you kind of like you're on the run. You're outside, like you're being framed, so you're outside the run from the organization, and you've got to uncover the truth and that. And it was just such a good game.
Sure.
It changed up a little bit as well. Sometimes you didn't have all the gadgets that you used to have in the other games. And it was brilliant. But I've mentioned on many times that I would like them to announce a Tom Clancy Splinter Cell, but they just haven't, and I don't think I'm going to get one. There's that what was that new Ubisoft game they're bringing out? I think he's in that as well, isn't he? That Battle Cat, is it, or something? Or
Battle Cat?
No, they announced some weird. They announced some weird game.
What, the Division one, the Heartlands?
No, it wasn't Heartlands. It was like another mobile game they're doing. So
I don't know. There's so
but
many.
I think he's going to be in that as well. So it's cool that you see the character of Sam Fisher pop up in other games. So I suppose if you're playing, Rainbow Six Siege or what was the other one? Ghost Recon. It's pretty cool. But it's surprising that they never kind of put him in the Division because that would have been pretty.
As what? As like a villain or?
No, it could have been like what are they
skin.
Called? No, what are they called? What are the agents? They're called agents, aren't they? You could just do a mission where you go there and you've got bloody, Sam Fisher's there and you're like, oh, bloody work with him to help.
Cameo.
He can help.
Sure.
So that'd be pretty cool. But alas, no Splinter Cell game. So
I don't think. Well, I don't want to say you're never going to get one. You might do, but. Like one of my honorable mentions is Prince of Persia.
Yeah, you're not even getting the remake. That's
a remaster as well.
Remaster. That's not even.
There you go. That's a prime example of someone being remastered as PS2. But
it looked like dog shit. That's why they've delayed it so long.
Exactly. Yeah. Going back to the drawing board.
Yeah. But that's my choice. I have an honorable mention as well. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be good or hold up, or is this just purely nostalgia, Brad? I don't know if it's nostalgia.
Watch out, careful.
All these picks are nostalgia.
I'd like another Jet Set Radio game, but I know that he's getting put in the Super Monkey Ball. So
that's out, I believe.
Yeah, that's but that's not mentioned. Now that one of them hasn't come out since 2003. Jet Set Radio Future. So nearly
retro.
It's coming up 18 years. So, but that's my choice. Splinter Cell.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Brad Maw, what's your pick?
So, my pick is going to be, which will be coming out again, is Quake. So it's sort of rumored, but it's nothing's confirmed, and they have.
Hasn't it been? Because I feel like it has been confirmed. They're working on Quake. Is it 4?
5.
I feel like Bethesda have confirmed that this is happening.
Well, that's me down the toilet then.
Sorry, go on. Just talk about it.
It was rumored, but not. I didn't think it was confirmed. But I don't know. We haven't seen a new Quake game since 2010, a long time ago. They've obviously remastered the old ones. And personally, I always absolutely loved all the Quake games. A hell of a lot. I was never into Doom that much, but Doom is a franchise that just kept strong. Every console era, there's been a couple of games come out, and and those sort of arena shooters, I love them, especially ones based in hell. They're just brilliant. And for me, I used to love Quake. I used to just spend hours and hours and hours playing Quake. And there's been nothing new, so I've had to kind of settle with the Doom games, which I've enjoyed. The Doom franchise is good, but in my heart, I feel like I'm cheating on Quake, and I just like just relaunch a brilliant big arena new Quake. But I couldn't really. Reece is about to tell me I'm a knobhead, and there's one coming out next year.
Well, keep going. I won't burst your bubble, but there is.
I think I've played. What was the Quake where you was a Marine and you got turned into the half Marine, half robot? Was that Quake 4?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it was on a 360. So I've played that.
What was it? It was called. I can't remember what it was called. I didn't play that one. I know what you're talking about. That's the one I didn't play.
Yeah.
I used to play them on PC back in the day.
Yeah, I remember one of the first games I ever played on PC was a Quake game, and that was maybe 2. Right. I don't know. Yeah, you crash land. You're like a Marine again. You crash land, and then you just got these. I think I've actually played a few. I think I played 2 and 3 and 4. To be fair.
Yeah.
So, it's. I remember the last one I played on the 360 got so hard. It got to a point, and even on easy, I couldn't do it, so I never played it again. Just give up because it's too tough.
Sure.
What about you, Reece? You played Quake? You Quake fan?
I've never played any Quakes. Never Quaked before.
Never Quaked, but you've Doomed.
Yeah. I've never Doomed either.
I never Doomed or Quaked. See, that should have been one of your guilty.
All right, well there you go. I'm admitting it now. Yeah, I've always missed like I don't want to call it hardcore, but the whole first person, the FPS, I don't know. I just never got into any of those. Wasn't until maybe, I don't know, Call of Duty. I don't know, dabbled a little bit during the PS3 era and then jumped out again because realized I wasn't very good. But never been my cup of tea.
Right.
But like a PC. I always think of it as like a PC game.
Yeah, that's where I used to play them on PC. Yeah. My honourable mentions are Unreal Tournament that kind of launched alongside Quake many, many years ago. Did you guys ever play Unreal Tournament?
No.
Again, it's another arena shooter. It was quite light-hearted. It was fun. It was the first real good.
You should be really good at PvP.
I know I should be. I'm not. I probably like peaked.
You're not bad. I'm joking.
Pretty bad. So I just love that franchise. Just I haven't. Yeah, they. I don't know. Can't remember who made them. I think it was. Oh, I do remember. It was. It's not going to come to me now.
What makes a really good PvP player? Is it just natural reflexes? Like, do you just have to have a natural ability? Because I feel like obviously it's partly skill and keep doing it, but I feel like it's just reflexes at one point, right?
Well, you can play like Call of Duty and Halo a lot. You kind of. You obviously learn the maps, you learn where people are going to spawn, and you just have muscle to be memory. Good. Yeah, muscle memory. Yeah, you just have to just shoot anything that moves. So
sure,
it's just
and muscle memory is better. It gets worse with age.
Because we were playing Trials yesterday before we raided, and literally we played this guy. It was just this one guy in this one team. He was unbelievable. As soon as you saw him, bang, dead. We're not terrible at the game. We was like, I think like Josh, our friend, he was like one match away from going flawless. We were on a run. I only had 3 more games to go. And it's just this one guy completely just wiped us every round. It was just unbelievable. It's like, how are you that good? How are you that good? It's just
there can be such a skill gap, and it's crazy. I'd love to be one of them.
A lot of people play these games that they put so many hours into it. Like, I'll talk about a first-person shooter later that I was playing, and I wasn't very good. So it's
Very quickly, one last honorable mention as well is Half-Life. Half-Life is just a franchise that just died, and that I probably I forgot. I don't know if I think it was Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1. I can't remember. I played them both, loved them on PC again, and nothing about. I'd love to see them remaster those two.
Not remake.
Absolutely remake them. I don't understand why that's not in the works. People highly rate them. They're 2
is considered one of the greatest games of all time, but once again, Valve have got other things they're bothered about, making their Steam Deck and their Steam store, and they make so much money. Once again, it's a business.
They released like the Half-Life 2 and the chapters on the orange box, that they back on the Xbox with Team Fortress and that. But yeah, I think they were just they're just ports. So
sure.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get a Half-Life 3.
I can see if
they said they released what the story was going to be for Half-Life 3 as well. Just like, look, that's coming. There you go.
They don't want to make games anymore. They don't need to. Also, if they did, I would imagine they would make it exclusive for the Steam store. Wow.
Yeah, and Half-Life Alyx was pretty well received, wasn't it? Everyone loved that game.
Well, the VR, yeah, people really like that as well. They consider it one of the best VR games. See, I've changed my mind twice while you two were talking about which one I'm going to go with. So, all right, I'm going to go with.
Can I guess? Can I guess what you've chosen?
Go on.
Infamous.
No. So, Infamous is my pick. I really, but then it shouldn't be in many ways. It should be Resistance, because I feel like it's such a different game to like all the other games that Sony's got as like first party, like going back to like almost like a Halo type sci-fi shooter. I think it would be. I think Resistance is really, really good. Get a new one would really
doesn't really a shooter on. They used to have Resistance, and they also had Killzone, but now they've got neither. So
yep. Well, the Guerrilla has expanded. They're working on 2 games, not just Horizon. So there is apparently a shooter coming, because the director of the second Guerrilla studio was the guy that directed Rainbow Six Siege. Okay. So I don't think you get that guy in if you're not making anything other than a shooter. It kind of makes sense. So I think we are going to get a shooter, whatever it is, competitive one. So yeah, it's probably coming. But yeah, going back to Infamous, I really like the first one. I like Cold Story. I like Sucker Punch. I liked all their games. Never played Side Cooper though. Skip that. But obviously Ghost of Tsushima is fantastic. And obviously I want Ghost 2. However, after Ghost 2, I want them to make another Infamous. I don't want it to be, was it Desmond who was in Second Son? I want them to go back to Cole, the whole electricity, the lightning or whatever powers, and the light and dark and the open world city. It was a really fun game. I like superheroes. Obviously we've got Spider-Man now, and obviously Wolverine come in. Something seem to be doing superhero games. But yeah, as a first party IP, as like superheroes, it was. I like superheroes, so I naturally like it. It was really good. It was a really good game as well.
I like the fact that you go around cleaning up the city, taking it back. The first one. I've only ever played the first one, not played the second one or the one on the PS4. Infamous. Was it Second Son? Never played them.
It's on the collection. You can just download it.
Yeah, it's weird that that was kind of like a launch title, wasn't it, for the PS4? So they was like bringing those back, backing it. This is a big game for us.
Yeah,
and then,
it got delayed until February. But
you what? Sorry,
it got delayed till February.
Okay. It can't. But then there's nothing. Then there's been. They had the DLC, didn't they, where you played as someone else? Yeah,
I think they call that New Light, I want to say. Okay. Something like that. Yeah, where you play as the second character who's got the neon powers, who's like fast. But it was just a really fun game to play. And I remember them obviously trying to like demonstrate the power of the PS4 with like all the graphics, which obviously you look at it now, it looks really bad.
First Light.
First Light. Oh, there you go. Thanks. Yeah. And they actually used the controller really well, because they had like the mic in the controller and you could shake. It was like a can, you could do like graffiti and stuff. So they always like innovate on like whatever the new technology is of like the console. And then obviously that goes at the moment, it's the triggers and all stuff. But no, what can I say? I like the game. Make a new one.
Well, in regards to your honorable mention of Resistance, I'd never played number 3. Did it sell well? Was it? I remember like at the time it came out, people was like, it was because that one, I think that one was set in America, wasn't it? It was like I remember like an axe was you could use an axe or something. I think it was. I
can't really remember this. Yeah, I believe. Yeah, no, you are right. The problem with it is, I'm pretty sure they wrapped up the story. I never beat it, but I'm pretty sure I've read that the story's done. So to make a new one, you'd almost have to go like back it's hard to make another one. So I wouldn't mind them just doing a collection, just re-release those lot again. To be honest with you, because I would probably enjoy them more now. I'm a bit older, so just re-release them or make a new one, but like a prequel or whatever.
An interesting game though, the first one, because obviously it was a launch title for the PS3. I remember getting it day one, and it's like, oh, you're World War II shooter, but there's some aliens have been discovered in Russia, and they're slowly creeping across all of Europe, and you've got to try and stuff. It was just I thought it's good. It's a good game, but
it was really good.
Good picks there. You got 2 good picks. There's a load of other games we could have chose. Obviously, people want a new Jack and Daxter as well. But what can we say?
My other honorable mention I haven't mentioned yet was Force Unleashed. Star Wars.
Yeah,
I really, really like the first one. The second one was a little bit half-baked because it was in development during the acquisition when Disney bought Lucasfilm, and they decided just to release it, although the game was half done. And obviously then canned 1313, the other project they were working on at the time, which was unfortunate. But yeah, the first one, whether or not, I don't think it got reviewed very well, but obviously being a huge Star Wars fan, it was just really fun to have like an OP Sith and just have the lightning and the Force and the actual, like, I don't know, the physics of like moving objects and things. I thought it was like really, really cool. It was good.
One more from me as well, which I think is really important. We've all played it. I think we all platinumed it as well. I think so. It's like played a big part of our lives. Is My Name Is Mayo. I think after 2, it just kind of dropped off a little bit. So waiting for that sequel. We need a 3. Yeah,
definitely.
I'm sure it's coming. I'm gonna get it. Day one purchase.
Day one must.
Yeah. You got to get those platinums in.
So I think that's it. For the main topic as well. Now we move on to what we've been playing. I know Reece is going to cover. He's been playing a little bit of Far Cry.
What's that?
Let me just say, we had like 2 kind of big games released this week. So we had Far Cry 6. That's currently sitting on a 75 on Metacritic. If you care about that sort of stuff.
I think that's a fair score.
Dread. What? Sorry.
I think that's a fair score.
Yeah. And Metroid. No, but I mean, if you go by the reviews, if you care what people say.
Yeah, and I'm saying I agree with that.
Metroid Dread released on the Switch, and that is currently sitting on 88. So
Nintendo bump.
Yeah, so that's 88. So Reece,
whenever you see like a Nintendo score, you always got like minus it by 5, and that's the actual real score because
it's sitting on 83.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've played a little bit of Far Cry 6, Reece. What's your opinion? No spoilers for people, but just your early thoughts, early impressions.
I am early, so I can't really spoil it, and I don't. I wouldn't want to anyway. I guess I'm just going to echo a bit. Like I said, I agree with that score. I agree with a lot of the reviewers that basically said, if you like Far Cry, you're going to like this, and not reinvented the wheel. I think we spoke about this like early in the year when we saw the previews. We just said, and I think people said it just feels like more Far Cry. They're not doing anything with it, and we kind of think we discussed whether or not they should innovate a bit and do something a little bit. Obviously, keep it Far Cry, but do something. I don't know, make it stand out. And I feel like it just doesn't do anything. Kind of the best way to describe it is like a vanilla open world game. It's I don't know. It's
maybe I wasn't there for that debate, but I kind of disagree a little bit with that point.
Go on.
Far Cry is, and I'm not a hardcore Far Cry fan. I played 5 and I really liked it, so I'm a little bit like, I'm not burnt out by Far Cry's. Don't get me wrong, but it's a franchise that people like. If you make a Far Cry different and innovative, then maybe it's not a Far Cry. Maybe you kind of know what you're getting. It's like, FIFA's a football simulator, and every FIFA that comes out is the same. And Call of Duty is another Call of Duty. It's an arena shooter with a campaign. It's the same. Like Far Cry have kind of got their niche. I guess Assassin's Creed have successfully evolved. So I guess you could say,
I suppose with Assassin's Creed, there's more scope because you've got all of the history. There's more scope that they can be like, right now you are a Viking, now you're in Italy and all that. So they've kind of got more. I think they've maybe got a little bit more freedom to.
Sure, but I feel like Far Cry is, if it's the same game, it's still in a different setting. Their innovation is all right. Now you're in Mexico, I assume it is. It's like
Cuba.
It's called. It's a made-up place called Yara, but it's basically Cuba.
Okay.
And it's basically imitating the Cuban Revolution. Although they're saying it's not political, which is another thing. I feel like they need to lean into it. You're clearly trying to make political games, but then you try to lean away from it. But like, this ain't political. Well, yeah, it clearly is.
Are they making?
You've got a dictator.
Are they making communism look good or bad?
Well, they're making it look bad at the moment, from where I am, but which I think we can all agree is
fresh take.
But it's even like Far Cry 5 when people kept saying, "Oh, that's political. It's to do with like Trump America." Well, no, it's not. It's about a religious cult, like David Koresh, wasn't it? Like that's what that was about. So it's I feel like they need to lean into that type of thing a little bit more, like make it a little bit more interesting, make it stand out. Like you said, Assassin's Creed has innovated. Like you look at other open world games over the years, and I don't know, like The Witcher is another standout, and then you think of like Red Dead Redemption. Like say for example the next GTA, if GTA 6 is just GTA 5 but in a new location, I'm expecting them to do something new. I think I'm expecting it to take it to the next level. And I know we shouldn't be setting Ubisoft at the same status as maybe Rockstar, but you've made 6 of these now and it's the same game, and I know people buy it, so why change it? But I feel like there should be something that stands out.
These ones are a lot different to the first one. The first one, you kind of get turned into some sort of mutant. You're running around the island with.
Yeah, we'll go back to that.
I just don't like it when franchises change too much. Sometimes I don't like it. They innovate, and it's like, oh, it's not the Far Cry that I used to like, and sometimes it can just backfire. And they put too much in it, and it's like, well, Far Cry is it's not a game that it's not like a one-stop shop that you're a Far Cry fan and all you play is Far Cry. It's quite light-hearted generally, and you pick it up and you play it and you complete it and you're done in a month, and it was good fun.
Don't get me wrong, I'm with you, Brad. I know Far Cry. I've played them all. Well, apart from the new one, I'm playing 5 now. I know Far Cry is a game I can just pick up, have a bit of fun with. I know it's going to be a fun shooter. That's what I want. That's what I want, to be able to switch my guns up. Have a few cool. They always have like a few kind of like cool quests, like in like number 3 when you're burning like the weed fields and that. And you just know you're going to have a good shooter, really, and that's what I like about it.
But there's something in not overly innovating and to the point where it loses its identity. But maybe there's a balance. Maybe there's just a balance, isn't there? Yeah. And I don't think Reece is suggesting that they fucking completely rehash the franchise, and I'm sure there's just some maybe
turn it into a real-time strategy.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. No, I just feel like there should be, I don't know, I would like something more. I feel like Ubisoft just, I don't know, they make good games but not great games. I couldn't name one thing that Far Cry does better than any other open world game. It just kind of takes a little bit from here and there, and then it's just, like you said, it's comfort food, I guess, if you want to say it like that. Like it's just easy going, you know how to play, it's the same thing, and if you like it, fine, great. But I don't think it particularly, I don't know, nothing just stands out to me. I know obviously the villains are the standout of the franchise, and obviously they've got a big actor in this to play the character, which so far I've seen him, each scene he's done is pretty good, and the location is pretty good. Like the island's beautiful, but no, like when you look at a game and you think, oh wow, this is amazing, like I'm playing on a PS5, that doesn't struck me. It just looks like a very good PS4 game, to be fair. I'm glad the character can actually speak. So the protagonists, obviously, you, like all modern Ubisoft games, you get to pick between male and female. The character's name is Danny, and I picked the female version just because they use all in the trailers. They showed the female version, and I noticed in previous games, since they started doing the choice thing, wherever one they use in the promotional materials, normally the better version. I noticed, so that's normally a clue. So I went with the female version because of that. But yeah, I'm so glad she can speak, because I think in the previous 2 they took that away, and I think that just took a little bit away from you playing as a character, especially when it's like first person and then they're not talking and people are just talking at you. I'm so glad that they've actually got voice acting back in it. But
it's like I don't know why games do that. They struggle so hard to fill in that storytelling, that narrative, and they have to make every line of dialogue non-responsive, and it's like, just make them fucking talk. Like, what does it matter?
So much better. So much better.
I don't mind voice as protagonists, if I'm honest with you. It don't bother me.
Yeah, no, it's huge to the story. Yeah,
I think in Destiny, my Guardian has muttered about 10 words in his lifespan. Just make him talk. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, what was it? When I was playing Destiny the other day and he spoke, it just sounded an awful lot like Master Chief, and I was like,
yeah. That's not the character I built.
My character's not called John. Yeah. So, what about you, Brad? What have you been? Oh, so go on, so Reece, what score would you give it? Sorry, what so far on your limited playthrough? Would you say buy, wait, don't buy? Would you give Sal? Wait for Sal.
I would say if you played a Far Cry game and you like Far Cry, you're gonna like this.
Yeah.
If you've never played one or you didn't like it, you're not gonna like this.
No, that is very much that is an on the fence answer. That is. What's your score?
Well, the score is I don't know. Yeah, 7.5.
7.7.
Yeah, 7, 8. Just it's okay.
7.5.
It's good.
Okay. So Reece is 7.5.
Yeah.
Far Cry.
It's easy. Else? It's easy as well. That's one thing I've really noticed. The combat is easy. Okay. And I'm not normally quite very good at these types of games. I normally die a lot, but there's a few missions early on, no spoilers, where you have to go into like a base, an army base, and there's this woman's like going, "Oh, this is one of the heavily guarded bases ever." And obviously you're very early on, so I have no great guns or anything like that. I'm just going in with with a machine gun, and I've got like an alligator with me, obviously. And I just completely destroy everybody.
Yeah,
sounds
just like, oh, yeah.
I like the sound of alligator. You sure it's an alligator, not a crocodile?
I don't know. I think it's an alligator. I'm pretty sure they said an alligator. Maybe it's a crocodile.
I don't know. Alligators have got the longer, thinner snout.
Is it one that can't go on land? Stays in water?
One of them, crocodiles. Can crocodiles?
They both can.
Can they?
I think so.
One's a fish.
No, neither of them are fish. no, this is. Yeah. In Far Cry 5, talking of Far Cry, I've just rescued a dog, so I'm going to use him as my little buddy.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
lad.
I want to unlock the bear at some point.
Reece is currently googling the difference between a crocodile and an
alligator. Yeah, I remember it being on the Family Guy sketch.
It's something about their eyes.
But yeah.
Eyes on top for an alligator and eyes on.
And I know like crocodiles have got like a shorter, wider nose, and
maybe is it
a thinner and longer as well. But I don't know.
We don't have that problem in the UK, so we're right.
No, I definitely think alligators can go on land because if you go like Florida, I think they're like everywhere. So
sure,
it's knocking around.
Yeah, I think it is a crocodile.
It's a crocodile.
Yeah.
See, I would have thought crocodiles had to stay in water, but maybe I was wrong.
This one doesn't.
They give birth on land, don't they? Because they have eggs. Because they're reptiles. You know what? People don't care about this. Welcome. And here we have the crocodile and alligator chat. But what about you, Brad? What have you been playing this week?
So, besides my usual suspects, I did fire up Hell Let Loose PS Plus game.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wanting to play a bit more, but I've had a couple of goes on it. It looks like
you find it extremely difficult and you don't know where you're getting shot from.
Yes.
I
want to be good at it so much. I really want to just like someone just fast track me, like put a Matrix chip in me. I'm good at it.
And then you can be good.
It looks amazing. It looks a lot sharper than I thought it would.
I was playing it literally just before we started this, and it looks beautiful. Like it's so, and the sound effects as well. Yeah. Like it's just amazing.
The realism about that whole. I mean, obviously, it is supposed to be a realistic war sim, but it just everything about it was kind of like what I've in the back of my mind. I've been wanting like a realistic war sim for a long time, and it's really gory as well. But so far, my experience is I've loaded into a map and I've been running for ages, and then I'm dead before
that is exactly the same as me. Yeah, so. Yeah, I don't know what map you was playing. I played on the Saint Marie in like France one. Like and you've got like a something in the middle, and then you've got cattle sheds and that. Then I was playing as an American.
Right.
I'd like them to have a tutorial, because every time I died and I went back in, I tried to change my class, but it just kind of always kept me as the same class. So I was stuck with that. But I was exactly the same with you. I run like a kilometer to get to the thing, got there, got shot. Right, I'm back at the back, and then I'm just running again. I don't know where I was getting shot from.
Yeah.
No one come and rescued me when I was down. No medics around.
No.
At one point, I jumped in a truck, and then someone just opened up on the truck with a machine gun and we all died. It was just...
Yeah, it sounds like you've had exactly the same. But I've not had an enjoyable experience, but I think it looks like a brilliant game. That's kind of my summary.
Yeah, I think we should all maybe jump on. I think Reece, you should jump on as well. We should have a little squad.
I have zero interest in this game.
Refuse to jump on. It could be fun, couldn't it?
It sounds terrible. I've been in a voice chat with multiple people playing it, Brad and others, and they sound like they're having a terrible time. But all they're saying is that they're having a good time. I think they're in denial. They're having a terrible time.
There's a little bit of that. There is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
What I think, I want to play it. I want to get a load of people together because I know a few people that play it as well. I want to get a big group. I don't want to do a private lobby. I want to split us up into 4v4.
Oh, that'd be pretty good.
Get on a field and just start and go after each other. I think that would be fucking amazing. And then
I just want to get one kill.
Yeah. Apparently there's haptic triggers, but I barely pulled the trigger, so I don't even know. Because I'm dead.
I know there is haptic, because I shot my gun into the air at one point because I couldn't shoot anyone else. So.
I was too scared to do that. No, to be fair, Reece, it is like I shit you not, the atmosphere, the intensity is like nothing else. It is such a realistic simulator. There's no hitbox, there's no mini map like on your radar. There's none of that stuff. It is just a really scary sim, and you've got no technology on your side. It's just you've got a field and a gun, and it's
literally. I was doing it, respawned, running. I saw
look at Reece's stubborn face. Like, it doesn't matter what word you say. Doesn't matter what word you say. I'm a prick.
I saw some guy shooting. He had a rifle and he was shooting behind his little wall. And I was like, "Oh, there's a guy. There's one of my team. I'll run up to him to see what he's doing. He's shooting a sank." And as I'm running towards him, I just see his head get like shot off. And I was like, "I will stay away from that bit. Then I'll stay away from there." It's just, I was like, oh, "Okay." And at one point, I was playing with some Germans, and earlier on, I think they was German, I don't know, but they did keep saying "Sieg Heil," so I don't know. I
controversial.
Yeah,
I've the only time I've run through twice, and I've been a Nazi both times.
Oh, I was American. I was a GI.
Right.
Yeah, I wanted to be a medic, but they was like, "No, you're going to be an assault," and I was like, "Oh, all right then." So I think that's what I could do. I'm not very good at the shooting, but I could go around and try and save other people. Good. So I think I could.
So this is why I'd be better with friends. I think you could find
I do with friends.
Yeah. Reece it's free. It's free. It's only like 7 GB, and Reece is like, "No, I'm not doing it."
He's not going to change his mind either. Look at him. He's like, just get fucked, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Think about it. He won't do it. He told me
I thought about it, and it's a no.
He told me he was going to finish Division 2 with me multiple times, and he never has. So it's just
because no.
It's just I want to do it. I need to play with friends.
Have you still got it on your PlayStation?
Oh, I've deleted it in a minute.
Okay, I was going to say delete it because I'm not going to re-download.
Oh, you're a bastard! You're the one who told me to re-download it.
Yeah, but there's about 6 different looters / MMOs, and I would all rather play those than Division 2. I already played it. I don't really want to replay it again. It's not a game.
You're the one who convinced me to do it, and I'll walk through it with you, Brad. I'll play with you, Brad, and then you're like,
no.
Then you
nostalgia.
Got me invested. You're like,
it convinced me into something that was it's not true.
Well, you have all the. I was going to ask you what you've been playing, but I don't care. So,
all right.
Well, I know Far Cry and Destiny. Is that what you've been playing?
Yep.
Have you picked up Metroid Dread?
Nope.
No. So me and Reece came up with a plan last week. We were both going to buy a Pokemon, and when we were flying to America, we were going to play on the plane. But then Reece decided he was going to change his flights, and now he's on a completely different flight to me. So he's can't happen now. So,
winning.
Play Pokemon. He wanted to play bloody, I don't know, God of War.
Yeah. Yep. So, I'm on the Virgin Atlantic flight now. So
guess what, mate? Guess what? I might be going the day before. Oh yeah, baby.
Really? Well,
yeah, I might change it up and go the day before.
All right. Well, that's fine.
But I still won't meet you at the airport. You have to make your own.
I was going to enjoy my 4-6 hours. I was going to get ahead of everybody. I was going to get there first.
Yeah.
I'm just going to. Well, you would arrive. I was just drunk, so So I'm gonna be like, Brad, I spent all my money.
Yeah, Brad, I'm broke. I'm like, Reece, where's the rings? Oh, I had sold them. I've sold them. I ain't got them. Yeah. So. But I'm not going to give you those rings until 2 minutes before the ceremony.
I feel like I need to have them longer than that, surely.
No.
No?
I'm just like Reece Farley, I've lost them.
No, fine, whatever.
I'll
Anyway,
go on.
is that it for this week?
Well,
Or have you
no,
got your
I have
games?
one this day in gaming.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay, so you still ready?
Ready.
Okay.
Ready.
So this game was released 14 years ago today. Okay.
Okay, what was the year?
2000 and what was 14 years ago today?
No, I'm not doing the maths. You're the presenter.
No,
Tell
I
me.
I didn't look right the year down. It was 2007, obviously.
Yep.
I knew that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so thick. It's 2021, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
How could we not work out? I don't know.
2007.
Yeah. So
right.
2007.
Yeah.
It's the fourth game in the series. Canonically. Is set in a dystopian future. It's a sci-fi first-person shooter.
Halo.
Nope.
You're out.
Am I?
The protagonist of the series, of not this particular one, is Gordon Freeman.
Doom?
No.
Am I back in now? Because that was terrible.
back
You're out
in.
permanently.
Yeah, you're back in. I've actually run out of questions. It's PC game. You spoke about it earlier on. It was one of Brad's honorable mentions.
Half-Life.
Half-Life.
Yes. Half-Life 2. Oh my god.
Half-Life 2, yeah.
Oh, Gordon
Freeman, yeah.
Did you not say the fourth?
It's Half-Life 2 Chapter 2. So they done 1, 2, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, didn't they? So
that's probably
that's so misleading.
Well, it's still the fourth.
I was thinking about the fourth game. All right, fine.
Yeah, I was thinking of like a 4. Yeah, fair.
Yeah,
right.
Half-Life 2 Chapter 2. The last mainstream Halo Half-Life game, because obviously they were supposed to do Chapter 3 and they never did, like we spoke about earlier on. So yeah. Brad got that one. Well done, Brad. Yeah. Reece is just
love it.
Reece don't care. He's just like, oh, whatever.
Human, livid.
He's just
fine.
Fuming.
It's fine.
But,
it's all fun and games.
But yeah, that's it. That's all I've got to talk about this week.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Is that it?
That's the podcast.
So if you like the show, just obviously go and like, subscribe, review, whatever you want to do, wherever you watch it, listen to it, wherever. We appreciate all your support. And obviously we'll be back next week, probably talking about DC fandom. Oh,
fandom, Mr. Fandom.
Yeah. I really want Gotham Knights to be good.
Yeah.
You think it's going to be good?
Hopefully, yeah.
I think it's going to be great.
I like things to be good. I don't like them to be bad.
Yeah. I like Batman.
They're better when they're good, generally, aren't they?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, they're good. Yeah.
So do I.
But, anyway, that's me. Crazy. I've got to go out now, and then later on, I'm going to go and decide to run in the field and get shot by someone I didn't see on Hell Let Loose again.
Yeah, I'm going to give it another go later.
Yeah.
If I see you online, I'll jump in.
Yeah, we're bloody kill those enemies.
Yeah, the bloody
guns.
Bloody Americans.
Yeah, whoever.
No, sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, I just got a bit too involved. It's very realistic, all right. It's very realistic.
Anyway, until we get into trouble.
Yes.
Till next week. Bye bye.
See you later, mate.